Hey collectors and friends, welcome back. Today I'm doing a VR for Scott over at Stukes Baseball Cards and Curiosities. Scott is asking us to describe a time where we met professional athletes. And so I want to describe that time and explain how I met a number of certain professional athletes. But before I do, I want to first give a shout out to Scott and his channel. He has got a phenomenal channel. He shows a lot of really cool sports items, not just cards, but a lot of different cool stuff. And so part of why I enjoy his channel is because it's not just the same old cards that you'll always see. He's got a variety of different things that he shares. Also, I'm doing this VR because I appreciate him so much for giving me a lot of shout outs for my channel. And so, Scott, thank you so much for all the shout outs that you've given me. I really greatly appreciate it, and I'm glad that you like and enjoy my content. So now I want to describe, some of the instances, at least one instance where I met professional athletes. So my back when I was a kid, my dad was married, and my stepmom, she had a professional baseball player in her family, and so that professional baseball player's name is Mike Morgan, and Mike Morgan was a pitcher for various different teams, and so living in Houston, anytime that his team would come to Houston to play the Astros, we would always get tickets. We would always go sit with the families. They have a certain section in the stadiums where the families sit, and we would always sit there and get to cheer on Uncle Mike. That's what we called him. We called him Uncle Mike. But anyway, so Uncle Mike played for a lot of different teams. He had a nickname called the Nomad, and that was because of all the different teams he had actually played for. He actually set a Major League Baseball record for how many different teams he played for in his career. But let me go ahead and share some cards of him, and then I'm going to share some cards, and I've got two items here in front of me where his teammates, signed some cards and signed these two baseballs. So. All right, so this first card is his rookie card, and that's him all the way on the right, Mike Morgan. So he shared his rookie year with his teammate Ricky Henderson. He also was on Ricky Henderson's minor league team, the Ogden A's. So that's his rookie card. And then after the A's, he was traded to the Yankees, and he played for the Yankees for a year. He was also on a minor league team with Don Mattingly. Then he got traded to the Blue Jays, and so here he is with the Blue Jays in 1984. This card is also signed. And then he got traded to the Mariners, and he was on the Mariners for a couple of years. I believe from 1986 to 1988, he was on the Mariners. Actually, no, 1985 to 1988. He was on the Mariners. And so this is him on the Mariners on this 1988 Donruss card. And then here's another postcard of him on the Mariners with that old Mariners cap. I really like that. So then he got traded to the Orioles, and I don't have one of his cards with the Orioles signed. I do have cards of him on the Orioles, but not signed. And he was playing with Cal Ripken Jr. and Eddie Murray. And then him and Eddie Murray got traded to the Dodgers. And so here he is with the Dodgers, and that's the team I'm going to be talking about today. So with my memory that I have of spending time with him and spending time with the Dodgers. So my memory is from 1990, and all of these cards are from 1990. So all of these cards that I have, well, not all of them, but some of these cards are from 1990. And what I was doing is I pulled all the Dodgers that I had cards of, and I took them with me to this one game where the Dodgers were playing the Astros. And so here he is. This is a 1990 Upper Deck with him signed. And then the next card is of the manager, Tommy Lasorda. And so here's where my memory comes in. I remember going after the game, we would always wait outside the locker room and wait for all the players to come out. And so I was able to meet, all the players coming out, and then we'd wait on Uncle Mike. And once Uncle Mike came out, him and his wife Cassie and my stepmother and dad and stepbrothers, we would all, walk out. And oftentimes they already had transportation set up, with the bus. And so we would jump in the car and meet them wherever they were going out to dinner. And so this one night, we went to Papa Do's in Houston. And I remember Tommy Lasorda sitting at the head of the table, and he was telling everybody, congratulations, y'all did such a great job on the game, and of course they won that game, and so that's my memory of Tommy Lasorda sitting at the head of the table, congratulating everybody. And of course, I'm sitting at the table with them, and I'm making my rounds around the table, going to particular players, getting them to sign my cards. But one player that I was sitting next to, and he was very intimidating. He had a very serious face. Was his teammate Eddie Murray, and so I was privileged enough to have dinner with Eddie Murray. Sat right next to him. And so that was a really cool experience. I didn't have any cards of Ol'SargeCollects, but this ball behind you is signed. I'm sorry, this ball right here is signed by Ol'SargeCollects. It's also signed by a number of other, a number of Dodgers. But I had a card that night of Fernando Valenzuela. And so Fernando was at the table also, and I got this card signed by Fernando Valenzuela. And then I didn't have a 1990 card of this player, but I had a 1988 card. And in 1988, this player was transferred from the Tigers to the Dodgers. And when the Dodgers won the World Series in 1988, he hit a game-winning home run, and that is of Kirk Gibson. So I got him to sign my card as well. And then I also got cards signed by Mike Scioscia and Ramon Martinez. And lastly, by Lenny Harris. And so what you have here is a Dodgers ball. This ball is actually from 1989, and it's signed by Eddie Murray, Mike Scioscia, Kirk Gibson, Ol'SargeCollects, among others. And then this ball is from 1992, and that's when he was when he had been traded to the Cubs. And Mike Morgan was on the Cubs, and I got to meet, Ryan Sandberg. I also got to meet Sammy Sosa, Mark Grace, and I got to meet Billy Williams, the coach and Hall of Famer as well. And so that ball right there is signed by all of those players, along with all the other Cubs, from 1992. Unfortunately, Greg Maddux wasn't on the team. He had already been traded. Andre Dawson had also been traded by that time. So anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed this VR for Scott over at Stooks Baseball Cards and Curiosities. And thanks for watching.